stand for the opening prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of our Catholic faith and the fraternity of the Knights of Columbus. As we gather for this district meeting, we ask for your divine blessing upon us. Guide our thoughts and discussions with your knowledge and wisdom, so that we may understand the matters before us and make decisions that bring glory to your name and serve the needs of our church and our communities. Help us live our principles of charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism, remembering those brothers in need, the ill, and the fallen. Bless our leaders, our families, and our efforts to be salt and light in the world. Through the intercession of Mary, Queen of the Knights, and our founder, Blessed Father Michael J. McGivney, we ask for your grace to be true servants and our inspiring leaders. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Good morning.
Morning.
And thank you everybody for coming in this cold morning. So first of all, I would like to introduce our State Deputy, Brother Dave Wilson. And on behalf of everyone present here, I welcome Brother Dave. He is just off from Edmonton last night, and then he made it here very fast. So thank you so much for coming over, and then I hope you can put your valuable inputs whenever you feel there is a need. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And then next, I would like to welcome Brother Dave. He is from the Supreme. He is the Regional Growth Director, and I'm very privileged to have you here. Thank you so much for coming down. And, so he will be the Chief Resource Person today, and he will answer all your questions. So we are very happy to have you. Thank you so much. And next, I would like to welcome the Grand Knight from Sacred Heart Council, Brother Tim. Thank you so much for coming. And then next, I would welcome Brother Mike from Corpus Christi, and Brother Jeff from Corpus Christi, Brother Namandi from Ascension Council, and Brother Crichton also from Ascension Council. And then who else? And also our treasurer from Sacred Heart, Brother Sheridan. So thank you.
And Brother John.
Sorry?
Brother John from Sacred Heart.
Yeah, Brother John from Sacred Heart. So, Brother Brother Mike
From Ascension.
Ascension. Thank you so much for coming in. And then from our own council member, we have Sanu, Brother Sanu, and Brother Roji, Brother Jopi, and Brother Vinu. And they have been helping me a lot this morning. Thank you so much. And we will get started. First, we will, I invite our Brother Dave Wilson, Honorable for the State Deputy, to address the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, worthy District Deputy Noble. Great turnout. This is wonderful. Thank you guys for joining us, joining your brothers on a fairly snowy Sunday. And it's great to see this great turnout. I'm not going to say too many words because this is Brother Noble's meeting. I don't want to take away from it. But I want to mention one thing that I can't not say it. Brother Noble has 3 councils that are going to make Star Council this year. And that is a terrific accomplishment. And I do want to congratulate the councils that are on that, in that direction. And we have one, and our Grand Knight brother Tim and
Brother Stephen?
Stephen, yeah. If I say it a lot, and Stephen, his membership director, are there. They have completed all of the requirements, with the exception of the SP7 that's due the end of April. But I have no question gonna make it. And the other two councils, well on their way. So thank you, and please keep up the effort. There's a few that do need to have the compliance for the safety, but they're pending. So appreciate you working on that. So I'll take any questions at any time, but I'll hand it back to Noble. Thank you.
So this is just a summary of our membership quota percentage achieved this year. So we have Council 7871 with 100% growth of membership quota. We have achieved 100%, and then 1186 we have 300%. So if they make all other requirements, they are going to make triple star council. I hope they can. And then council 165, we have 100% membership quota again. So they can also, all this council can achieve, if the other requirements are met, they can achieve star council. And then we have council 15871, that's this council, the council that's hosting this meeting. So they have achieved 309% of membership.
Wow, good job, guys.
All the council members, Grand Knight and membership director and financial secretary and all other officers for supporting in achieving this membership quota. And I'm also proud to say that so District 27, that is my district, is overall we have achieved 209% of membership growth.
Well done.
Standing first in Alberta. Thank you so much for your partnership. And now I invite Brother Dale. He's the regional growth director of the Western Canada.
Thank you.
And then he will be giving us some, his tips about council operations, membership growth programs, and how to achieve star council. And he will also be answering all your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no,
All right, really, District Deputy, thank you very much. Awesome, those are phenomenal numbers, and thanks to all you guys. I've never seen a district this early on in the fraternal year to be that high in membership. You're a star, you're all stars here. This is just incredible. I've never seen it. This is, I'm from BC, we got some councils in BC that are go-getters like you guys are. I've never seen the whole district be sitting as good as this is, so that's very good, thank you. So, we're gonna talk about, where did the district deputy say, we're talking about programs, we're gonna start out with that. Membership, how to achieve star council, exactly what he said there. So, back in July, beginning of the fraternal year, our worthy Supreme Knight said we have to achieve 101,500 members in the calendar year, so the 2025 calendar year, not the fraternal year. So I reported to Vice President Bob Ennis, and every time we have a meeting, he talks about that. The Supreme Knight's after us, we gotta get these numbers, and we're on track for this, and July was a phenomenal number, and August is phenomenal. I think we're gonna do this, Well, on January 3rd, I think it was, a couple days into the new year, we achieved 101,513 members for the order in 2025. Over 101,000 members, new members. This has not happened since after World War I. This is a phenomenal, this is a record, and it's thanks to guys like you that care about our order, want to bring more families into our order, right? And that's why we did this. So awesome. It's just, it's breathtaking almost kind of thing, how well the order's doing. And you know what it's coming down to, and I see some younger guys here, it's coming down to our young guys that are coming into our order. And core, I'm not sure how many of you are doing core, hopefully all of you are doing core. That's a big part of that, is bringing these young guys in. Us old guys, we're getting tired. We're getting tired. Who is it? You guys all know this in your councils. You got 15, 20 guys that kind of do everything. You got 100 guys in your council, and there's 15 that are doing it all. And its chances are it's older guys, and they're getting tired. And we need to do that. We're going to talk about that. So there was some new. This fall there was some new programs offered, and you may or may not know. I'm just going to highlight them real quick what they are, because they're really good, and they're all worth 2 points. So in your SP7, when you're filling it out, you need 4 points per the 4 quadrants, and with these being 2 points, they're awesome. So imitating St. Juan Diego, so traveling with an image or something like that, encourage families to pray and grow devotion to our family. That's all it is. And you put that on your SP7, send in registered as a, if you're aware, but the 10587 is a form you can submit, and you submit that. Viva Cristo Rey, celebrate the sanctity of Mexican martyrs. I gotta tell you, I look after BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Wyoming. And down in the US, it hasn't hit Wyoming yet, but in the US, they're doing with the Mexican martyrs traveling around. They're recruiting so many people, all these jurisdictions, and Utah being one of them, had Mexican martyrs go through, and they're sitting at almost 200% of their jurisdiction right now. They're doing so well. So this is a good celebration. And what a lot of these in the US, and I can get it up here. If you guys are interested at all, we can get the Mexican martyrs, and we can talk about that later. We can bring that up if you guys are interested. They hold a mass and celebrate. It's a weekend event. All this, it's unbelievable. So anyways, Mexican martyrs. Remember, we got faithfully departed. A lot of you are probably doing this already, where you have a necrology mass for all your fallen knights and their families and that kind of thing. Well, now that's a recognized program. We've been doing years in my council, and now it's finally nice that we get 2 points when we do this. So that's good recognition there. Quinceañera support. Sorry, I can't say that very good. It's a celebration more to the Hispanic community. So when a lady goes from 15 years old to moves from childhood to adulthood, there's a celebration. There's 2 points for that. So that's under family. Under community, celebrating our Catholic heritage. Host an event celebrating your parish community's heritage. So what's special about your heritage or your parish and that kind of thing? Have a celebration, have a mass, and do that. Bright futures. Support the students and the schools in the community. So whether it's donations, it's time put forward, host an event that includes all that, incorporates your parish community and your council. I see I got some typos in there. Holy Hour of the Lady Guadalupe. It's another new one. So Holy Hour with again, an icon you can order in. Organize adoration and Blessed Sacrament and a special prayer service, and ask Our Lady's intercession to pro-life causes. These are simple, guys, to do, and very important that we do them. Gospel of Life, organize a study group using the Gospel of Life study guide. I saw it when I was down in Denver in November. One of my peers brought it out. It's phenomenal. It's a very good course study. We'll get a pro-life speaker in to talk. And these are all life programs, so very interesting. You could go, and I'm going to show you later how you can actually go in and get the details of it. This is just the highlights, but I'll show you later how you can go in if you want more details, what you need to get those done. So you guys are doing a great job in growing our order, but we have to keep going, okay? And State Deputy Dave was there in Denver back in November, and the closing statements of our Supreme Knight, he said, if I give you any advice, He said, work hard, or someone give you a piece of advice. Work hard, first piece of advice. Second piece of advice, work harder. And the third piece of advice is, find somebody to work with you on that. So those are pieces of advice, and they're easy. And being you're here, obviously you care about order and you work hard to achieve all your great accomplishments. So we need to keep growing our order. We know there's families out there who need the Knights of Columbus. Whether it's be getting them back into church, and that's, Michael McGivney, somebody named the 2 reasons Michael McGivney started the Knights of Columbus. First one, yes?
Well, to keep the families in the religion. When they lost their breadwinner, they lost the religion. So
Yeah, so that
bring the family back.
You're almost tying both of them, but basically, yeah, it's basically get the men back into the church.
Yeah.
They were falling away from the church, get the men back into the church. That still applies today. I mean, when you guys go to mass, what do you see in there? There's probably 60% women at least, 70% women, and 30% guys in church, right? We're gonna get the guys back into church, and that's one reason for them. The second one, protect the family, and that's where the agency comes in. Okay, protect our family through the insurance and all that. Down in November, I was in a meeting with all of my peers, and with the agency as well. One of the things we talked about, we're like a 2-headed organization, and there was an emblem there, and I forget what it was for. But you got the agency and you got the fraternal side. You form one body. And that's exactly what the Knights of Columbus is all about. So those 2 things, protecting our family and get the men back in the pews. So reasons to recruit. Faith formation, I just talked about that. Help men and their families get closer to Christ. That's getting them back in the pews again, right? Replace our fallen members, I just talked about that. Aren't we getting tired? I'm old, I'm getting tired. My counsel, come on guys, let's go. But they've been doing this forever. These same guys over and over again. We need to recruit, get some younger blood, replace our fallen members. Impact on the world. So the more we can do to recruit, to bring guys in that can help us with coats for kids and wheelchairs and all the local charities and everything else that goes with that, that's why another reason to recruit. Fraternal benefits. So just by signing up, no charge, you get accidental death, there's bursaries available, and the Great Columbia Magazine, just for signing up. And there's more. You guys have all seen that one blue sheet that's got all those fraternal benefits, just for signing up. No charge, right? And then there's the insurance program. If you want to go deeper on that, get your whole life, your term insurance, RSP, whatever you want to go through all that, you can do that. That's a great benefit. And there's guys, online members, that join just for the insurance. In fact, not just online members, general membership, that join just for the insurance. And that's great. Serve others through charitable works. The more people we have out there working, the more we can do. Right? More charitable works we can do. When you only got those 15 guys, you're spread a little thin. You have lots of guys that are out there helping, we can get more done. Band of Brothers. I moved to Vernon in 2004. Didn't know a soul. My family and I moved. This guy came along. I was going to the local church there. He came along a little while, after a few months while we were there, and said, Dave, would you like to join the Knights of Columbus? I was never asked before, other than my dad poked me once in a while and said, join. I said, sure, I'll join the Knights of Columbus. These are my best friends now. And all these guys that I meet on travel, Brother Dave and Noble, good friends now. I can trust. These are my band of brothers. We work together side by side, doing whatever charitable works we need to do. Become a better Catholic, husband, father, and citizen. I'm sure for me, all 4 of those apply. And for a lot of you guys, for a lot of them as well. Okay? That's why we need to recruit for these kind of things. And you probably have a lot more ideas on why we need to recruit. Okay, so different ways we can recruit. So one is through activities. And to start council, we're going to talk about later, you need to do some activities. Okay? And through your activities, you can recruit. So I'm going to use an example that I use quite often. Is the council, we have a children's festival. Okay? And it takes about 20 guys to run this thing. Because we've got popcorn machines, cotton candy, we've got a barbecue, we've got a bouncy, we've got clowns, we've got all this stuff for the kids. Okay? We need lots of guys. good way to do this is say some of the older guys, stay home, or just come for the barbecue. But we're not gonna ask you to help at all. What we're gonna do is go into the parish and ask some of these young guys that have kids and say, hey Joe, you got your kid here your kids here for all the activities, would you mind helping with the popcorn machine? We're a little light on help today. What's Joe gonna say? Yeah, okay, it's only gonna be an hour and a half, my kids are playing anyways, yeah, I'll help with the popcorn machine. When that event is over, you got him right here. Because that felt good for him to help. And now after he's all done, you could say, hey Joe, that was a great job, thank you for helping, we were really tight on help. Are you interested in joining the nights and help us in a few other events? You know, you may say, think about it, but now you got that much closer, but or you may say, yeah, that was good, it felt good to be able to help out. This is also a good way to do this, to get guys, and you all have them in your councils, I'm sure, that joined, that you don't see them anymore. Right, they don't help with events. Same thing applies. Call them and say, you know what, Mike, I know you've haven't been able to help too much with some of our activities here in the council, but really short on this children's festival. Can you come out and help? Same scenario, popcorn machine, he felt good, you know what? He's gonna come out for other events now too. Because he realized the contribution that he helps out feels good. When you get him here, it really, tugs at their heart that they want to help out some more. Those are ways to do it. You guys all have, Star Council, you're going to need, a dozen programs throughout the year or more. Those are prime opportunities. When you're doing the free throw, ask some guy, same scenario I used with the children's festival, can you come keep score at the free throw for 10 minutes, 15 minutes? A guy that, not even a night, or a night that you haven't seen in a while. Those things, you've got just take advantage of all those different events. Leverage them to get the men in. Ask the right men to lead the effort. So, you're doing a fish fry, and if you got a guy sitting behind a table with a whole bunch of brochures, waiting for somebody to come talk to him, so you can join him at Knights of Columbus, how many people are you going to get if you sit behind this table with all your brochures? Probably not many. You need to combine people that are outgoing, they're not afraid to talk to people. Or the fear of rejection, that's always the biggest thing. Or they're shy, or whatever. Find people that are willing to go out and talk to people about the Knights of Columbus. That table could still be there with all the brochures, but you're out mingling with people and talking, yeah, I just don't have time. Tell you what, here's a brochure, it talks about 24 hours in a year. Here, have this brochure, read it over, and see what you think, okay? So, all of you, whether you're a district deputy, your state deputy, growth director, grad night, whatever it is, we have to inspire our councils to grow. Or we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Frequently remind the councils why they do what they do. Why are they out? Why are you guys here today? Well, hopefully maybe pick up something and help us more with our council activities and such. Or grow our membership. Remind them why they do what they do. Remind the council impact they make on the world. I talked earlier about wheelchairs and coats for kids and stuff. Is that not impact on this world? The millions of dollars that we give for charity to the Vatican every year. That's impacting the world. Right? We have to inspire our council. And insurance is a big part of that. Okay? That's what pays the bills, that's what gives us the money to give to the Vatican or any of the big charities out there. So insurance needs to be a big part of our membership that we need to get that. So anyways, impact on the world. Encourage councils like culture, imitation, and growth. Always be thinking about inviting a member. You see a guy out there, a young guy, ask them, especially if they got a rosary hanging in their vehicle. If you're driving, you're at the church, you're talking to this guy who's got a rosary hanging in his vehicle, all over his mirror, talk to him. Ask him if he's a member of the Knights of Columbus. Don't be afraid to approach. What's the worst thing that can happen? No, I'm too busy, haven't got time, whatever. I travel a lot, you hear that all the time. Approach him, what's the worst thing that can happen? Right? It might be, I got these little cards here, which I think are just phenomenal. And you may have seen these, but Knights of Columbus on one side, the other side it's got the QR code, and that's the kfc.org/join QR code. And you give it to him, say, you know what? If you're talking to the guy that's got the rosary hanging, here, take this, look at, go on there and just have a look at the Knights of Columbus, see what you think. Here's a QR code if you're interested in joining the Knights of Columbus. My predecessor, Ryan Dehan, that was his thing. On church on Sundays, he walked the parking lot looking for rosaries hanging on their people's mirrors, and he'd drop one of these cards or some other equivalent card, stick it under their windshield wiper or in their door somehow. What a great way of doing it, right? So, always be thinking about, share what you've gained. I talked earlier, better father, better citizen, better husband. I'm sure a lot of you have gained at least one of those by joining the Knights of Columbus. Encourage councils not just to recruit but fishers of men. You want guys, you just don't want numbers. Recruit real fishers of men. Guys that want to be members of the Knights of Columbus, not because you twisted their arm, that really want to be out there, other fishers of men to grow our order. Last year, 4,000 new members came in. 5,000 died. If that's not a reason to recruit, I don't know what is. Okay, where can you find people? Prospect list. See if Father will give a list of new parishioners coming, or parishioners in general. Some maybe won't, because it's a privacy thing, they may not want to do that. But if he does, that's great, and you call a guy up. Make sure all your priests are knights. I was in Riverton, Wyoming 2 weekends ago, and just outside Riverton, Wyoming. Anyways, and the main priest is there and an associate priest. And before Mass, I talked to the associate priest. I said, "Are you a member of the Knights of Columbus?" He said, "No, I'm not." I said, "Oh, well, would you like to be?" "No, you know what, I'm not ready for the Knights of Columbus yet." I said, "Okay." So then I did the pulpit announcement, and the main priest, I asked him to say a few words about the Knights of Columbus after the pulpit announcement. He talked so much about the Knights of Columbus, what the council was doing, that he was a member of the Knights of Columbus, and he encouraged all men there to join the order. That's what you want a priest to say after a pulpit announcement. Very good. So on the recessional then, when they're coming out of Mass, I'm standing at the back, and Father, they're all coming out, and I said to Father, so this associate priest is coming out, and as they're walking by us, they went right outside to greet the people after Mass, and I handed him and said, I'll pick this up to you later, kind of thing, as he's leaving the church. He says, okay. After the main priest talked, and after the pulpit announcement, he thought about over that time period, and he joined the Knights of Columbus after Mass. I went back to the sacristy, and he signed the card. Because he heard what was going on. But we need to make sure all our priests are members of the Knights of Columbus. New parishioners, 18 years old, watch. You all know your parishes. If you see some young ones come in, approach them. Talk to relatives, friends, co-workers, whatever. And I got down below phone contact list. Just go through your list and say, all your friends, oh, you know what, he's Catholic. Wonder if he'd like to be a member of the Knights of Columbus. You got your contacts there too, okay? Former members, inactive insurance members. So, in the case of inactive insurance members, as Grand Knight and Financial Secretary, you can look at your rosters, and when there's an N in there, it means they're inactive, which means they have insurance, but years ago they dropped out, they didn't want to unite anymore. So they're still on your roster. Go back, talk to them. Their contact information you can pull up. Maybe that was years ago. Now their kids have left home, they're semi-retired, they got more time. Call them. They may want to join again. Pending members. So the state team is working on pending members for your councils as well. These are pending members, the ones that joined online, or not that joined. They were through the system online but didn't confirm their membership. Until they confirm, not an online member, they're a pending member. So they're kind of sitting out in the cloud there somewhere, in limbo, not anywhere. So the state team, they got a plan. They're working on calling or texting all these members on the list and say, hey, you joined, you signed the card and you went in, but you didn't confirm your membership. are you still interested in joining Knights of Columbus? And they say yes. We got them now they're an online member, which is then go into your prospect tabs, right? So that's one way of getting new members as well. And then all those online members, we convert them to your councils after you have an exemplification. So if you go in for all you Grand Knights and FSs, when you go in, you have your prospect tab, and you go to offers online, you can see all these prospects in there. Hold your exemplification, and they end up in your council then. Okay? I know I talk fast, I want to go through this, but if you got any questions, just shout them out. If I can help, I will. Okay, so online membership. So, I talked earlier about putting the, putting a little card underneath, like Brother Ryan was doing, where people have a rosary or something like that. Always promoting that online membership, okay? Putting posters in the church. Articles in the bulletin. Anywhere else where you can spread the word, okay? Order some of these little cards, give them to all your council members, okay? There's all kinds of things we can promote that online membership. All of a sudden, Grand Knight Financial Secretary, you're gonna log into offices online and see a couple of guys in your prospect list and think, oh, where'd they come from? Well, they may be happy because you handed out one of these cards, or they saw it, well, it's field agent there, hello. That's good. Gord. Who knows where they came from? Brother Dave and I, Dave and I were talking the other day, these new members keep popping up. So whenever a new person joins online, the state deputy gets an email, the general agent gets an email, the state membership director gets an email, and the online chairman gets an email. Well, I said to Brother David, you got these emails, but where are these people coming from? Are they coming from people where we've done talks like this, or through membership drives, or where are they coming from? They're coming from places we haven't talked about before. Well, how did they join online? They found something online that came about and they decided to join. Maybe that council put up a sign in their parish, join Knights of Columbus, or whatever the case, and they just showed up. So there's different ways you could do this. I think I talked about all this here. So know the online member procedures. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So, has everybody seen how to join online? I've got nods there. I can go through this real quick. It only takes a minute. Oh, okay. Let me just go through this real quick. That's my mouse. Oh, here it is.
It appears that most of you are aware of it, so.
I can skip it if you like. Where you go online, kfc.org/join, and just enter his information in there. Okay?
Yeah.
And hit submit. And then what happens is, okay, then I'll just continue on here. So what happens is he completes the application online, or you're entering him in, you put it all in there, hit submit. He gets then an email within a minute or two. Depending how busy the system is, I've seen it take a little bit longer sometimes. He gets an email from membership saying, please confirm if you want to join the Knights of Columbus. Okay? You hit that, that's item number 2. So he goes, he confirms his membership. Now he's an online member. Now he gets 13 weeks, a rotating 13 weeks of promotion from the Knights of Columbus, emails. Okay? Talk to the Knights of Columbus, whether we, all the good things we do fraternally, from the agency, or whatever the case, he gets educated on the Knights of Columbus. Okay? Then number 4, because he went online, he ends up in the prospect tab of that council, assuming when he joined, he put the council number in there. Okay? Now the council calls him, talks to him, says, hey, we have exemplification coming up. Would you like to join our council? Or invite him out to an event, out to a children's festival. Hey, you joined just in time. We need somebody to run the popcorn machine. Are you able to help us for a couple hours for all the kids there? Okay, so anyways, you get him to, eventually, he wants to attend an exemplification. Hopefully that's the case. Okay? So he attends the exemplification, whether it's in person one, online, or whatever it is. Once that's all completed, the FS or Grand Knight then goes into the system and transfers him to the council. And I'll show you that in a minute as well. Any questions on that? Pretty straightforward, eh? All right. Okay, so transferring online members. So, as I said, when the FS or Grand Knight log in, they have this is what they see down here, all those little tabs. In this case, we're going to deal with the prospect tab, and that's where these new online members are going to show up. Okay? So right now they're all highlighted out. You can't see their names or anything like that, but basically once they've done the exemplification, you go in there where there's a ceremonial date, put that date of the exemplification in there, hit transfer. The following Tuesday, or depending when it's done, maybe the Tuesday afterwards, they're gonna be in your roster. That quick. Remember the old days of Form 100s? Scanning them in, or hard copy mailing via Canada Post, or whatever the case. It was weeks before they showed up on your council. Here it'll show up the following week. Okay? Transfer in. So there's a reject button there as well. And you might say, why would we want to reject anybody who worked so hard to get these guys in a prospect tab? But there are reasons. What if the person isn't 18? Even though it asks for the birthday login, maybe typo, whatever the case, but he's not 18. Or, what if he's not Catholic? Or, maybe it's a woman that joined for her husband. Okay? There's multiple reasons. So, what you do is you go in, this is where the FS or Grand Aid would go in and say, okay, we have eligibility concerns. And that'd be one of them. Or those would be a few of them. Okay? Council incompatible. So I'm going to use my hometown, because there's only 2 councils there, my hometown. So we have 4949 and 12202. So say we were doing a recruitment drive at 4949, but this guy normally goes over to 12202, the other parish. Okay? But we join him. But now he's in 4949. Well, that's not his parish. That's not the council he wants to join. So that's where council is compatible. So you go and reject on that reason. Brother John Leskowich would go in, would show up in the state roster, and John would then, on the request, would put him into the other council. That's how you do that. Does not want to transfer. He wants to stay an online member. He joined because he wanted to get to our beautiful insurance. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, we'd love to have him in our council, but insurance is very important. As I said earlier, it's what pays our bills, right? So that's another reason he just doesn't want to transfer. He just wants to stay an online member. And be patient. Keep them on your list. When you got your distribution list you're sending out to all your council members, put these guys on that are in your prospect list on that distribution list as well. So they know that all these different events that are happening, and you're requesting help for a pancake breakfast or whatever it is, who knows? They may show up sometime. Right now they want to stay online because timing isn't good. Let be patient. Keep them in the loop of what's going on with your council. And sooner or later, if you approach them a couple of years later or less, and they see what's going on, they may say, yeah, okay, let's join the council. Okay? Then the candidate tab. So, I used to have a slide on that, and I don't know what happened there. But anyways, there's this candidate tab. Okay? So the candidate tab is like the old Form 100. Okay? So basically you go in there, click the candidate tab, and what shows up is a blue button that says add. And when you go in and add, you can enter all that person's information in there. Name, phone number, email, birth date, everything. Okay? And then hit submit, basically. Well, it's gonna show up like under those blue lines again. And then you go and do a transfer, date of the transfer, when you want to bring them into your council. So this is used for 2 reasons, or 3 reasons really. So if you're transferring somebody from another council, you use the candidate tab. Now you have to be really careful that you put the exact information, the correct information in there. Because if it's not, it's going to create a duplicate entry. And I've had a few of those, I have to go into the database and I got to fix some of those up. But basically, make sure you got everything right. Spelling of his name, phone number, email, the whole works. What's coming in the next revision of this candidate tab is a field for membership number. And that'll be very important because then you can't make a mistake. Right now there's no field for membership number. So you just email, phone numbers, and that kind of thing. Okay, so once you got that all right, you get him in there, he'll be in your council again the following Tuesday. The other reason, so there's a transfer in, the other reason, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to bring a person in and not go through the join process, the online kfc.org/join, if you don't bring them in that way, you can bring them in this way as well. Certainly this is not the preferred method. The preferred method is join online, it's much cleaner, and that's the way to go. People say, well, what about death? If a member dies? Because you used to do that in the old Form 100 as well, death, date of death, and go from there. That's all done through member management now. So is anybody in FS in here?
Yeah.
FS? Yeah, so that's okay. So, yeah, so you go through member management and you put it in there that he died and the date. You don't need to go through the candidate tab, no more Form 100s or anything like that. Any questions on those? I know I zipped through really quick. Please don't be shy. We're here to learn. I'm here to learn. State deputy's here to learn.
I think I'd like to just maybe take a few coffees, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we could have a cup of
Yeah.
coffee, and I'd like to bring up a couple of things. I'd like participation here.
Yeah.
And some feedback.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Coffee or
answer
juice?
a question.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Okay, we just have a question real quick here. Yes?
Yeah, again, my name is Namdi Jude from a section council. The question I want to ask, very simple. We have aging members, board members, and then we are having membership drive for young people, at least that will take over.
Right.
The question I want to ask is, for example, if you go to our section, we have a lot of members. More than half don't even show, more than 70% don't show up. So the emphasis on Knight and Columbus, is it on driving new members to join or getting the old members who have backslided for many, many years into the system? Which is the priority? That's my question.
Both is my answer. Okay, I used the example earlier with activity drives, right? To ask a member to help out with something for a popcorn machine or 10 minutes for the free throw. Get those members back that way. Some of the old guys you haven't seen in a while, you know what, they paid their dues. Probably 25 years ago, they were like you, doing everything kind of thing, right? Give them a break. They're on retirement kind of thing, you know. But I think some of the younger guys you haven't seen in a while, you gotta bring them in through another activity drive somehow. Do it that way. But on the flip side, a good portion of those are seniors. You need to keep bringing people in, right? We have Salmon Arm, which isn't far from where I grew up, Salmon Arm, BC. When I was district deputy, they were dying. I went out to a meeting, I said, guys, how many guys are over 70 years old in this council? All but one put their hand up, okay, in a general meeting. I said, do you guys think this is a problem? Yeah, it's a problem. It got them here, because all of a sudden the next year, Star Council. They went and recruited, it got to them. They realized, wait a minute, our council's gonna die if we don't bring in some new members here. And I was quite serious with them. I said, we have a problem here, you know? The only one that was younger than 70 was the recorder, scribe. So basically, we have to do both. Try and bring those other guys back, and you know what, chances are, and I'm not gonna make this total assumption, but I think chances are, that guy you haven't seen in a while may not be going to church anymore either, okay? By getting him back active, doing the free throw for 2 hours, you know, just to help out, coax him out of a young or retirement, he may find this is good and may start going back to church as well, which is our ultimate goal, right? Is get these guys back to the church.
Yeah,
So.
I think, you make a valid point. You know, our council is 144 members. We are jumping with joy if we get 20 members out to our council meeting. But where everybody seems, this is the weekend for pancake breakfast, but we're having a pancake breakfast. We had 24 members sign up to help with the pancake breakfast. Most of those don't come to the council meetings. So I think what the message that I'm sending out is new members don't join to attend council meetings. It's probably the least important thing in their life. But they want to be involved with their journalism, they want to get to know people, and let me tell you, when you have an event and a new member comes in and all the other members are talking to them, that's the difference. But it is difficult. I know some councils, they don't even have a quorum, you know. And I'm one person that I joined the nights and I traveled for my job. I don't think I attended a council meeting for 15 years. But we had functions on the weekend. We we're in the kitchen, we're in the bar, you know, we did women's night. I always volunteered for those when I was available. So, you know, it's a good question. I bet you everybody in this room would have that same. How do you get these members to get involved? And I always look at the fact, don't spend all your time on the members that you know are probably not going to continue. But give them the opportunity to be involved in things. We're going to talk about core in a minute, and that something like that might help. But anyway, let's grab a coffee here, and we can bring it.
Well,
Hey, seems good. How you doing? Oh, pretty good.
Oh, you had lots of
Oh my gosh, I love it. Sometimes not spending too much time at home without the snow today. I went to a whole lot of this out of Calgary, because that's what it shows for Mother Teresa. Oh. How are you keeping well? Everything good? Yeah, good.
Did the use of it not start?
Incredible. Oh my gosh, that was that's so good to see. Yeah. Oh gosh, nothing yet. Nothing Tuesday is when we're going off. So is that gonna happen between now and Tuesday?
That's your first one.
No, this is becoming
Oh, yours. I was, the deal was, at a state meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
He was, you're discussing a lot. I like that. Stay hard. Yeah, thank you. And this is,
Yes.
Neil is still.
Well, they're not now.
It is absolutely. But St. Hartley though, so I can too bad that thing I'm coming out and bringing a t-shirt, I'm bringing a rosary for the wife, I'm bringing, you know, some things.
I got invited to last night.
Is there tag that, tag and more, like, and then is actually a master's. Speaking of tag, for sure, so it's just
That's good.
because for some that have, there's a very
Oh, absolutely.
Just before I we started a whole new concept and then shut down the English one. And we merged with now it's totally different.
I told them
New number in this case, yeah. And that was a very funny because everybody in there was different. And wanted, I would like to say, okay, well, all of these people members have not for a job, you want to say, move to another town, another parish. They're all over there, just move over, transfer to
we actually shut down those.
I'll see it.
Merge the districts. And then start brand new council. It's a little bit easier just to keep the existing council members, right? Not do all the paperwork and everything. I don't need these ones that are over my.
The problem is that a lot of towns have to go. Yeah.
So that's
I already find that one of them. You have to remember to get the prepared to set up.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have it.
There's nothing but senior housing all over town. All senior housing. You go to St. James now, and it's all guys our age. It's senior. I'm old, I consider myself old. And you know what?
Oh, yeah, you're old.
So anyways, you know what, so that's all you see, either gray hair or no hair, kind of say, right? And the other, there's.
If you keep it short enough, you hide the gray.
Yeah. That's the other
Hey, I wanted to ask you a question.
I have no idea.
If they choose to be exemplified, or if they don't choose to be.
That's just for.
Is my understanding correct that if non-exemplified are only eligible for helping and insurance? Oh, okay. Without being exemplified.
Without being exemplified, they cannot vote, and they cannot hold executive positions. Those are the only exceptions. So they can't.
I want to know what the difference is. Because this online is a fairly new process.
That was about 6 years.
Yeah, that's new.
And they can't vote on that, so there's a motion to table.
Yeah.
They can't vote.
If they're at the meeting.
At their meeting, they can't vote. So they can't vote, so they can't run for office. But they can come, and you know what, I invite them out, they're gonna say, well, you know, they should come to meetings. And once they see what's going on in that council, they will join them.
And in answer to the question about bringing the old back, getting more new, we need more new. There's no question about it. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's the point, yeah.
We need more curriculum to grow in children. We need to identify and go over with that. And we've really been successful. Well, we changed our methodology. We made it a social event where you separated them from the north access that come out of the church. And then we had community choir studies where they could ask as long as once you really felt that all and they're very a lot of them are, and like I just
It's like some secret society or something.
we're trying to do good work. That's it.
And once they sit down and explore, they understand. Yeah, look at the good works. We're not some secret society or some secret handshake.
Yeah, it's,
Well, that's not good. We're both under 300%.
well, yeah, and like, we know. Exiting the church, that we were able to, if they make the decision to go to visits for a number of years, yeah, basically, and that is good. Because a lot of them like that, and then they ship it off and run, and they take the card and go. And, either way, we learned that what's happening all the time is slowly, lost so it might be simple as that.
So you're successful at it, that's good, yeah.
We'll see, that was the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You got pretty good there? Oh.
Good meeting.
I got this in
Nice to actually come and see the inner workings of it. Although I was told, Brother Tim, I have no interest in being a branch.
You don't, eh?
But I will be the best man in throughout my life, I'm 71. I know that I'm not capable of leadership that will cause me ill health and stress.
That's, I remember the night.
We have to know what you're good at. How many,
You got it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thanks.
Okay, we can, bring your coffee to the desk, your desk.
Yeah, you like that.
So, when you're done, I'll get, George to say a few words.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Put two desks together.
Thank you for the coffee.
So, where do you say, Deputy, you're gonna say something now, or?
Nope, you go, you continue,
Okay.
Brother Dale.
Okay.
And,
So next thing we're gonna talk about is a proof of concept membership drive. And I mean, I know I haven't been around as long as some of you maybe have been to Knights of Columbus, but in my time that I've been here, this has proven to be by far the best way to recruit. I'm not general, there's exceptions, people have their own ways. I was talking to Steve over there from 1186, Steve or Mike? Steve, yeah. And he's got a nice little way he was doing last drive. But on general, this works extremely well. And that's a big part, I think, why we've surpassed 101,000 members last calendar year rather, in 2025. So, does anybody know what proof of concept means? What that really, Gord, you're shaking your head, you wanna let us know?
For sure, it's the new program that Supreme has brought out in order to get guys through the parishes, through the.
Yeah, you're right, no, I meant actually in the dictionary what proof of concept
Oh,
would be,
yes.
sorry. So proof of concept is what the word says, it's something that's been tried and proven to work well. And when something is tried and works well, do you change it?
no,
No, probably not, because it's working. And you could maybe do minor tweaks as society dictates a little bit, maybe here, but for the most part, you keep it the same. It's a proof of concept, it works, okay? So, what we do is we create these packets. And on here you'll see the sign-up card, the enrollment card. It has two things on there that are extremely important. The first one, yes, sign me up as an online member. Secondly, or the second thing is the second last down at the bottom is their signature, which means that they're giving you permission to enter their information onto our join website. Okay? So that's the first part of it. And we've got it in multiple languages too. We actually got it in French now as well. Yeah, so there's different ones. What we do with this packet is we have different trifolds. And there's 4 of them listed here. 2 are on the fraternal side, 2 on the agency side. The 2 on the agency side can only be ordered by guys like Gord or your general agent, those kind of, okay, the rest you guys can all order. So what we do, I've got it stapled, but basically you put those trifolds along with the enrollment card together, wrap elastic or a paper clip, slide a pen in there. Don't worry, pens are 11 cents each. Staples, you buy a pack, and you're gonna get most of them back anyways. So that's your packet. So we attach these, and these are good ones, and you don't have to exactly use these. You know, when I say you can tweak things, there are some good ones, other ones that Supreme come out. There's the one you've seen in the Delta membership pack called Why Join. That's a good one as well. It's a bifold, or bifold, yeah. It's very good. There's some other ones out there that are good too. As long as you've got some information with it, okay, with the sign-up card. We have a pulpit announcement, okay? So, you can, it's a proof of concept, you shouldn't change it. There are people that want to change it, and they haven't been nearly successful. So I'm just going to read it out to you. And when you're doing the pulpit announcement, I'm going to talk about a little bit later on, the person doing it needs to speak free, should be looking up. If you're reading and say, "Good afternoon, brothers, my name is Dale Hope, remember the Knights of Columbus for approximately 20 years," you lost them. You're wasting everybody's time. Okay, there's nothing there. You need to go and speak freely, make lots of eye contact, almost have it memorized. And this covers it all. Good afternoon, brothers. My name is Dale Hofer, member of the Knights of Columbus for approximately 20 years. Our brother Knights and I have come here today to invite the men of this beautiful parish of St. Teresa to become Knights of Columbus. We've developed charitable activities favoring our Catholic Church, our community, our family, our youth, and the culture of life. We are the largest Catholic organization in the world. Our 4 principles are charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism, and all of our charitable works we carry out are followed by these 4 virtues. Our goal is to help men, our families, our parishes come closer to Christ. Our programs and resources provide opportunities to live and spread the Catholic faith. But all men 18 years and older, please stand. And you guys don't have to stand. What we'll do is, and sometimes you have to say it a second time, "Come on guys, all stand up, 18 years and older." So they stand up. I turn around, I look at Father, I say, "Father, look at all these guys, they're standing up here." And Father generally will acknowledge with a smile or a grin or a smirk or whatever and nod his head or something. Now they're standing up. It's almost a conscious thing now. Now they almost have to sign up. Because Father saw them standing up. So now they may have to join. So anyways, brothers in Christ, can you imagine the positive effect all these men working together in brotherhood, helping and protecting this community of St. Teresa? Please be seated. So they sit down. Together we empower Catholic men to live their faith at home, in their parish, at work, and in their community. Now, what's the biggest reason you get when you ask someone to join? Time. I don't have time.
Too busy.
Too busy. Next paragraph. You might think you don't have the time to become a knight, but the Knights of Columbus do not seek to take time away from you or your family, but rather offer you quality time, together by helping others and being the people who share your Catholic faith. Brothers in Christ, at the entrance you were given some brochures. Inside those brochures comes a card. You can fill it out with your information and hand it to one of our brothers as you're exiting church. Many thanks to Father George for giving us this time to invite the men of this parish to become Knights of Columbus. Less than 2 minutes does it all. I've been at others where this Grand Knight goes up there and talks for 15 minutes on the legacy of his council, all the programs they've done over the years and all that. They know that. We need to keep it simple. Take the odd excuse away. Right? After 10 minutes or 5 minutes, if you lost people, okay? Short and sweet. Then we get Father to follow up. I'm going to go through that in a little bit. Okay? So, chronological order. Order the trifold. So you talk to Brother Gord or Brother Neil, and you get those 2 that are from insurance. Okay? We should have an insurance component in this. And you can order some of the fraternal ones then as well. We'll get all those ordered in, so you're ready. And it may take a little, you want to be at least a month out. Okay? You start ordering these things. Schedule the drive. Talk to Father. Father, you'd like to have a membership drive in the parish. What date works good for you? You get a weekend time. Schedule an exemplification. I'm going to talk about a little later why we do that. Print or order the cards. So you can print these out. You can order them from Supreme, whatever you like. The enrollment cards. Engage the agency. Make sure Gord and all his peers know when this is happening. These guys are the best recruiters out there. They need to be invited to the membership drive. They're busy. They may not be able to make every time, but they're going to make an effort to be there. Okay? Make sure they're engaged. Organize your ambassadors. So the ambassadors are the guys that are going to help with the membership drive. And as I talked about earlier, with recruiting with activities and all that kind of stuff, you need to ask the right guys. If you have a guy that only feels comfortable sitting beside behind a desk, or a table with brochures, he's the wrong guy. You need guys that are gonna be out there as the people are exiting church or going in, we're gonna talk about both, that aren't afraid to approach somebody and talk to them. They can't be shy. Okay, so make sure you get the right ambassadors. Create the packets, that's what this is. Okay? Hand them out as men come into church. So when you're coming in, when guys are coming in church, now I always say be there at least half hour early before Mass starts. So the men are coming in, hi, I'm Dale Hofer from the Knights of Columbus. Are you a member of the Knights of Columbus? And if he says yes, say thank you very much, and he goes has a seat. If you say no, say, well, here's some information about the Knights of Columbus. Okay, we're going to talk more about it at the pulpit announcement. Have a look at it, and at the end of Mass, just have it all filled out and bring it back to us. Okay, so they go away with it. There's the other ones say, no, I'm just not interested. I'm not. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Next year or whenever you do the next, they might take it. They might be interested then. Don't sweat it. Okay, so that's us going in. For Mass now. So you get there early. You go talk to Father. Remind them that it's membership drive day. Okay. Now, one of the most vital things in there is coaching Father on what to say after the pulpit announcement. And he's the closer. The priest is the closer to get these guys in. So, 3 things. And I mentioned, I think, earlier, is get them to say something nice about the Knights of Columbus in that local council, something they do. Tell everybody that he's a member of the Knights of Columbus. And thirdly, encourage the men to join the Knights of Columbus. When a priest says something, people listen. Okay, so those 3 things. So then you go do your pulpit speech, and this needs to be at the end of Mass, after the communion prayer, before the closing, before the blessing. If you do it at the beginning of Mass, and some priests, that's when the announcements are made, they do it at the beginning. Please ask to do it at the end of Mass. If there's no choice at the beginning, well, that's what you live with, you do it at the beginning of Mass. But with much greater results if it's done at the end of Mass. A couple of reasons. At the beginning of Mass, you do your thing, then they go and announce, or you do the pulpit beginning before, then they do all their community announcements. Then Mass starts. They just took this thing and dropped it in the pew in front of them. And that's where it stays. Where if it's done at the end of Mass, they're pulling it out of the pew in front of them, okay? They're looking at it, we're doing the pulpit announcement, Father's the closer now, he's going to say something about it. It's fresh in their mind, what the pulpit said, it's fresh in their mind, or what Father said, they fill it out, and they bring it as their exit. So it's important there. Again, and the person doing the pulpit needs to go out. So now they're collecting cards as they're coming out of Mass. So 3 things are going to happen. They're going to leave this in the pew in front of them. That's okay. They're not ready. Don't worry about it. The second thing that's going to happen, they're going to come back out of Mass with it all filled in. So go up to them and say, oh, great, you filled it all in. Let me just have a look, make sure I can read it. So I can enter this into the system, confirm the email address and the phone number, and all the information there, birth dates there and all that. Just confirm it. Okay? So that's good. The third thing that's going to happen, they're going to come back carrying this, and it's going to be blank. And you say, "Oh, you didn't fill it out." Here, and I take a pen and I walk over to the table. And say, "Just fill this out, and you'll get an email from us with some information." And they do most times. Okay, they're going to fill it out, but don't stand there and watch them fill it out. Because meanwhile, everybody else is blowing by you, kind of thing, right? Trying to go to Denny's real quick. So basically. Let them fill it out. You're contacting other guys. Kind of keep an eye on it that he's filling it out, okay? But before he leaves, make sure you can read it again. Okay? So you can lead other guys over to fill it out. So most will do that. Some won't. They're going to say, well, I'm going to take it home and I want to read all this first. Okay? Read all this information. That's okay. You can say, you know what, we're only here this weekend. But if they really say, no, I want to take it home, say, okay, fine, just have a look at it. I write on this particular card, kfc.org/join. I said, once you read all this over, and you feel like you want to join the Knights of Columbus, here's the URL. Go to this site and join the Knights of Columbus. And by the way, I forgot to mention earlier, when you talk to these guys, tell them they're going to get an email later today. Okay? Hopefully shortly after Mass. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But basically, remind them they're going to get an email. Be prepared to answer any questions about the Knights in general or the local council. So the guys, again, shouldn't be shy, you know, if somebody approaches them. So after Mass, remove all these from the pews. Respect Father's church, okay? Don't leave all these in there. Secondly, you get all these back and you use them for the next Mass. And most times the pen is still in there. You haven't lost the pen either. So, you want to go afterwards and collect them all. Enter all the completed cards in the Supreme Joint site. Critical. This is just about as important as Father doing a good closing. They gotta be entered after Mass, soon, right after that. Okay, so what's gonna happen then, once they're entered in, that prospect's gonna get an email. Okay? If you wait days down the road before you enter this into the system, they've now forgotten about the pulpit announcement, they forgot what Father said. You've wasted just about everybody's time. Okay? So whoever is gonna enter these, you need commitment. I've had it too many times, so the Grand Knight says, I'll take care, I'll enter it in. I said, okay. I phoned back a couple of days later, how'd you make out? Did you get all those entered in? No, I was busy, I never got them entered in. I said, well, we just, you know, we wasted everybody's time. Yes, Steve?
A good way to get around that is bring the laptop to the membership drive.
We're getting to that. Very good, thank you, good segue. Absolutely. So, and actually, them coming into church as well, not just going out with the laptop. We got a big drive tonight at St. Albert the Great. I got 2 laptops, I'm bringing them both. We're gonna enter. But anyways, so, where were they? Yeah, so enter in Supreme site. Right away, okay? And it's fresh. About 5 hours later or less, contact them. Phone them first. Phone them next time you contact and see, have you done your confirmations? They're gonna get an email to say to confirm their membership, okay? Ask them if they have. Say, no, you know what, they just got home from Denny's and they haven't looked at their email yet. Okay, I'll stay on the line, you wanna just have a quick look. If they can't find it, they search under e-membership, because sometimes it goes into their spam folder. And get them to enter it in, to hit that confirmation, coax them. A few hours later, so say this is a morning Mass, you've done this maybe at 2 o'clock now, where you called them. Maybe later that night, if they haven't confirmed yet, just text them. We're finding texting works really well, okay? They're more susceptible to look at it. When you phone them, if they don't recognize the phone number, they may not answer. Or a text, if you say, hi, it's Dale from the Knights of Columbus, you filled out a card here today, I'm just wondering if can you please click the confirmation, and you'll get a communication going with the text as well. So that works pretty good too. I always say this too, is the membership director in Saskatchewan, Chris Wacharski, he sends a personal email afterwards. Because a couple of things. First of all, it's personal, like I said, it's personal contact out to that prospect. And secondly, if it bounces, email bounces, well, we got a bad email address. When we go to the joint site and it's a bad email address, we don't know that it bounced. They may not have got that email. So what Chris does is a real good idea. It's follow up, and people aren't afraid to send a personal email. Great way to do that. Okay, so now he finally confirms this guy. So send a thank you note to Father. Give him a Timmy's card. Whatever it's going to be. Next time he asks for a membership drive, he's going to be more likely to give it to you because he knows you appreciate the effort that he put into doing that. So thank him anyways. Okay, so the guys joined. Now the council needs to reach out to that person. And as I mentioned earlier, whether it's just asking to an exemplification or to help with an event somewhere or whatever the case, reach out, invite them to the exemplification. Now, when you invite them to the exemplification, if you say, we have an exemplification Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, can you make it? That's a yes-no answer. Anybody knows it in sales, you don't want to give them a yes-no answer option. Okay? Or marketing or whatever. Here's what you say. We have an exemplification Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday morning. Which one works better for you? There's no yes-no in there. Okay? Which one works better for you? If he says Saturday morning, now you have an exemplification Saturday morning where you made it before. You have one. You bring your team out, whether it's just showing them a video if you can't get the whole team out, or hopefully you can get the whole team out and do an exemplification. Okay? Don't give them an option, or don't give them a yes-no option, okay? So you get him there, once he's had the exemplification, as I showed you earlier, from the prospect tab, you put the date of the exemplification, you transfer, Bob's your uncle, next Tuesday's in your roster. This is a one-pager, what I just talked about. The beginning steps, prepping the packets, right through to following up, it's all there. Prepping the packets, book the master of the pasture, engage the field agent, have recruitment team prepped, basic training on what to say going in, coming out. At mass, coach forward on what to say. After the pulp announcement, it's vital. Hand out the packets of men going into mass, telling you have information about the Knights of Columbus. Pulp announcement needs to be rehearsed, merely memorized, that eye contact be made with the congregation and is read smoothly. After mass, collect the completed cards, and if not filled out, lead the man to a place where you can fill it out. Also explain if they will receive an email, and to check spam junk folders. Big key afterwards is to follow up with them if they haven't confirmed within 5 hours or so. Call them and either lead them through it or leave a reminder on how to do it. After 18 hours or so, text them another reminder as time is running out.
I will be sending Noble a copy of all this, so yeah, you can refer to it.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That's bringing membership in, and from what I'm seeing, you guys are all pros at this. Oh my goodness, everybody's at 100% or more. That's incredible for a district, absolutely incredible. But it doesn't stop there. Star Council is not one condition, like membership. Okay, we've got other things we need to worry about. So the top McGivney Award, you guys have all achieved it already. You all got your 6% intake, okay, which is awesome. The Founders Award, Brother Gord's in the room. We'll take this time. You want to talk briefly about fraternal benefits?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, while we're here,
All right.
and then we'll continue on.
Yeah, 100%. All right, fraternal benefit events. Does anyone not know what they are or why we have them? Fantastic. We're all professionals at this, right? Fraternal benefits events are incredibly misunderstood and highly underutilized. Technically, any time that a field agent comes to speak at a council, that can be considered a fraternal benefit event as long as there's enough members there. But fraternal benefit events are an incredible opportunity that we have, and I'm not saying the agents, I'm saying all of us, to not only activate the membership that we have, but to bring in new members. To put it bluntly, fraternal benefit events aren't necessarily for you. You are all knights, you've been knights for years. I'm sure many of you have gone through many fraternal benefit events. You've spoken to your agent many times. Some of you may have insurance with us, some of you may not. The fraternal benefit event is not just meant for you. It's meant for the new knights coming in. It's meant for those men who have no protection set up. For those men who have no idea that by joining the knights, they are automatically covered by an accidental death benefit. No idea that their family can get orphan coverage for their kids automatically with the Knights of Columbus. That was just increased sixfold a few years ago. That our accidental death benefit was doubled a few years ago as well. The purpose of fraternal benefit events is to bring new members in and to add value to the experience. So there's a council that I work with, and it's a wonderful council because of how much they do for the parish and for the community. They do pancake breakfast every month. They do. They just raised $3,000 for a member of the parish to have an elevator put into his house, chairlift. They raise so much money for the church that needs a lot of money because it was just built. But when it comes to the actual meetings, there's been on average 3 people coming out. Myself, the Grand Knight, and then maybe one other member of the council. And the reason for it is because they don't see the value in the meetings. It's a lot of talk about numbers, a lot of talk about finances, going through the full situation of the council, and especially for the new members of the council coming in, that's not something that they necessarily want to hear. In fact, I've seen that time and time again push them away. Having a fraternal benefit event scheduled and promoted and actually turned into an event, more than just the agent coming through. Oh, the agent's here this week. Great, let's hear him talk for 10 minutes. That's it, we're done. To turn it into an event, to invite members out, to send out emails, to have advertising that, hey, we have someone coming in who's going to give us a talk. And now the talk doesn't just have to be about, you know, a certain aspect of what we do. That's something that you can have input with the field agent as well. What do you think your council needs to hear about? We have some incredible fraternal benefit events templates that are built, but most of the agents just don't have the opportunity to use them. You know, we come in and most of the time we want to talk for a few minutes and that's about it, right? We actually did a fraternal benefit event last year at St. Bonaventure, but instead of doing it at the council meeting, what we did was we had it on a Saturday morning in the parish hall. We invited the entire parish to come out. There was people who were there to babysit some kids so that the husband and wife could come and listen to a little talk on the Knights of Columbus. Every single man who came there joined the Knights. He signed up right then as an E-member. He went through the exemplification the next week. It was incredible. But that's something we don't think of with fraternal benefit events, because we just think that, oh, it's a box to check off, it's something that, you know, Supreme wants us to do, so we have to do it. I do think that it's something that we can really use. That if we push into fraternal benefit events, not just as something to get off the list, but as something to actually add value and to help protect our members, then that's gonna make a much bigger difference. Any questions, any thoughts or discussion about fraternal benefit events?
Just to add to your point, like with the council meetings, yeah, I do agree that maybe for retention purposes, it's kind of is pushing people away.
Absolutely.
So like, I think, in a way, I think we discussed this like at one of our last councils, if they need to be restructured a bit. Like, is there like a certain number of meetings that have to be done throughout there? Is that something that goes through state that's a requirement, or is it like?
For a certain number of meetings?
Like, or is it even like, is it even mandatory at all? Like,
The guideline is to have two
meetings.
benefit events
Right.
with a
no
total.
council meetings, like, no.
Just a regular council
Yeah,
meetings.
Oh, council meetings?
Is there a guideline? Is there?
Yeah, there's a guideline, you should have, 10 a year, and, you should have, the guidelines are you should have an executive meeting before the general meeting. Very few councils have the, executive.
It's a guideline though, but is it like, can it be like restructured in a way?
Actually, I could just add to that, actually, in our constitution and bylaws, you need 2 meetings per month. So really 24 meetings. 2 exec meetings, 12
council?
exec meetings and 12 general meetings.
For the council?
For the council. That's our constitution and bylaws. Now, as the state deputy was saying, you could have it right before the general, but then you don't be pushed for time either in your executive. The executive is all the business is done.
Yeah.
Okay, so you still should have them split, 2 separate meetings.
So there's no way you can do like quarterly meetings, like for a year.
That's not in our constitution.
Yeah.
People do it, you didn't hear me say that, but it's not what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what we found is that the councils that have an executive meeting of the, Grand Night, Deputy Grand Night, and the treasurer and all that, they decide on the direction that they're going to guide the council, and they make decisions there. Then, the general meeting, you don't spend half an hour talking about how much you're gonna charge for the pancake breakfast, because the executive has said, we're gonna have a free will offering this pancake breakfast. So that takes off that. So the council meeting should never, ever exceed 1 hour. And, the executive meeting is the same, some have the executive meeting before the council meeting, so they say we're gonna have 2 hours. So at 7 o'clock, or at 7 o'clock, we're gonna have the executive meeting, 8 o'clock, we're gonna have the council meeting. And you satisfy those. It really lessens this going off on tangents, etc. Just.
Absolutely. One more, just a couple more things that I want to mention. For the fraternal benefit events, we're developing some new ones right now, which is very exciting. And a big focus on well, I can speak for myself, I can speak for Neil Bouvier, the general agent, and a couple other field agents throughout Alberta. Our focus is going to be financial literacy. Because right now, everyone has access to immediate investments on their phone. You got Wealthsimple, you got whatever app that you have. People have such a general idea of finances and how they work and what they mean. But when it comes to the specifics, that's where things break down. And there are so many misconceptions, and that's what we're here for. That's what the agents, our goal, we are Brother Knights first and foremost. We are not insurance salespeople, number one. We are Brother Knights, and we want to help Brother Knights. We help Brother Knights and their families, and so financial literacy is going to be a big factor in that. So if that's something that you see as valuable for your council, if that's something that you want to implement, talk to your field agent about it. Please reach out to them, discuss it, find a time, set an event, send out emails to get people excited within the council. Try to get out as many members as you can. Again, even if nothing works out for the field agent on that, at the very least, you've given value to the council. You've given some of the men who don't come to the meetings a reason to come and a reason to listen, and that's where it's critical. Any other questions? Bert?
I have one question, like, to achieve the Star Council Award, whether we should just conduct 2 FBE and also whether we should have insurance growth. Is that also mandatory?
Insurance growth is not mandatory. It's not part of the list. No. You have to have 2 FBEs, or you can have 1 FBE and the field agent can do a meeting with the Grand Knight and the Deputy Grand Knight separately, do a financial needs analysis for them separately. But again, we're not trying to tick off boxes, right? And that's what we end up having to do because it's a requirement from Supreme. But the reason that it's a requirement for Supreme is not just to give the insurance guy a chance to speak, right? We can come to any council we want to say a few words, right? The reason that it's a requirement is because of the value that it can bring to the members.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You know, a nice way too to get at least one of your done real, easily, is to have one through your parish. So say you're gonna have a lawyer come out and talk about wills and estates, and you're gonna have a field agent come out and talk about protection, right? You're gonna get a whole big crowd out, not just those knights. You got wives, you got people that aren't knights. And you know what? They may listen to a guy like Gord and say, man, I like this protection, I like the insurance, the Knights of Columbus, and he may want to join the Knights of Columbus then. So it could be a parish event where you have more than just a field. You have a lawyer come in, wills and estates, or a doctor come in and talk about something. I don't know, but make it a combo, and you're going to attract a lot of people too. So anyways, need 2 of those.
I'll just say one other thing is, I'm not sure if this was passed down to the councils, and if not, I can resend it to the whole, but the general agent and state have agreed that we can satisfy the requirements for fraternal benefit events by, number 1, the field agent attending a council meeting. A video is played that is online about it's a heart-wrenching one. Secondly, then the field agent talks about the video as well as options that are available. Thirdly, hand out a card with all of the, or a sheet with all of the benefits. There's your fraternal benefit event for all those members of the council. Okay, do that. Now, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, tell me, does what Gord say qualifies as an FBE today?
So you and I are the same wavelength where you said that. I was thinking, I got that video, the 5-minute video, and I'm thinking, maybe we play that video in conjunction with Brother Gord said, would that constitute an FBE?
So every one of yous can go back to your councils and fill out, what's the form,
1177.
11077, and put down a field benefit, a fraternal benefit event.
I think it would, especially with that video, and it's coming from
Yeah.
Neil that said the video. I mean, so there's
Yeah.
3 from 1186. So Brad Knight, you fill out your form 1170 and put the 3 names on there. All the other council, I don't know the council numbers here. You can do that. I don't know.
Would that qualify for the attendees? Because there has to be 10 minimum.
No, it's a start though. So they could do another one with 7 others.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
And then you got the 10, right?
That's true.
They have to have a total.
You don't have to get the 10 or 14 in one sitting.
I see.
It can build. So you could have 5 one time at some event that everybody registers, 5 another time, and now you qualify for 1 FBE because you've got 10 people, or whatever it is.
So there, you're.
The agent has to be present as well, along with.
What, sorry?
No, I mean, when we do the FTE, so you mean this we can convert to an FTE?
These people right here can be part of the council FBEs.
Okay, so like,
Yeah.
so we need other 14 members, right?
In total,
In total, but no, you could do 3 now, and you do another event, another 11 or something, or it could be, it may take 4 events to get your 14 people. It doesn't matter.
So we can do that in the executive meeting as well. Maybe to complete the other.
yeah, I'll just use an example I've got in front of me
Yeah.
here. Tim's council, has 2 FBs with 22 attendees. Well, you put down another one, that's 3. You now have 3 and 24 attendees.
Yeah, how
He
about
doesn't need it, he can do it, but he doesn't need it anymore, he's already got his 2, right?
Well,
I'm gonna do it.
You can do it anyways, yeah, absolutely do more, yeah.
if you got,
Yeah.
so that'll,
Okay, so that covers intake and FBE, so Brother Gordon just said. So the next thing is getting our forms in. And I'm sure you all have your 185 and 365s in, they were due in July. The 1728 is due at the end of this month. Excuse me, end of this month. If you haven't got your 1728 in, get her done. Get that submitted in there. Okay? 1728 is a list of all the money that you've given out to charities and all your hours that you put in. So the grant night or the program director would be keeping track of that through the year, or however, maybe some councils do it every meeting, they submit a piece of paper with everybody's hours and that kind of thing. However you guys do it, but the 1728 is due the end of the month. Next thing, in good standing, active, and compliant. What that means is you paid all your Supreme bills. So your Supreme assessment is paid. The January one just came out. Okay, and also you're safe environment compliant. Are we all safe environment compliant? Good job over here. So we need, this is important, guys. This is extremely, extremely important to be compliant with safe environment. If this little 7-year-old boy walks into a washroom and you're going to the washroom too, do you follow him in?
You have to have somebody or leave the door open, have somebody else with you.
Yeah. Best thing to do is turn around and walk the other way. Unless you really gotta go back, then you gotta call another guy. All it takes, with this 7-year-old boy walking into the washroom, you follow him, you brush against him, he comes out and says, "Dad, that man touched me." What kind of trouble are you in? Big trouble.
Yeah.
Even if you're innocent, your name's been tarnished, the Knights of Columbus has been tarnished, whatever it is. This is what this course does. Not just that, gives you a heads up and things you should and should not do, but also to recognize if you're at a meeting all the time or a friend's place, which was part of the video way back when, and he's sitting, you got a friend of yours, he's sitting next to your daughter and they're laughing, and the next time that you get together as a family, he's got an arm around her, next time he's pinching her, or things like this, that's a sign of sexual abuse coming up. It also teaches you to recognize when these things are going on. Not just protect yourself and the Knights of Columbus, it's to recognize it. And right now you can go online and do it all. There's the family director, the community director, the program director, and the Grand Knight have to do this. Hopefully by next month, it's open to all Knights of Columbus, and possibly even the general public is going to be open to take the safe environment.
takes about an hour and a half.
Yes, it's not long. It's important, guys. We need to get this done. We got so many, and we're seeing that we've got this chart we got working here. If there's this one family director that hasn't done it, or community director, that ruins the whole hope of you guys getting Star Council. So where you guys Knights that are in this room, look at when you log in and you say, "Oh, my family director's not compliant," call him up, go to his house, help him fill it out, do whatever.
Doesn't take long.
Doesn't take long.
Go ahead.
Sure.
What kind of record keeping do you need for that? So our parish just did it for all the ministries last
Right,
Saturday, right? And they asked the Knights to do it. Does that count for the Knights too?
No.
Or do we have to do separate?
It's separate.
Unfortunately, it doesn't, and that's something I've been arguing
Pulling my hair
for
out.
5 years. But I am in 4 volunteer organizations, and I have to do 4 of them.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's all it is. But
I got the parish, I
I
coach junior curling, Knights of Columbus, and I volunteer at the school.
yeah,
Before.
Yeah, the
So-
church and Knights could get together.
but that's you're right, the Knights in the church, but at this point, it is not. So, at the risk of embarrassing anybody in this room. I'm gonna be hard-headed. 10065. Who's here? So, the Grand Knight is compliant. The program director is not compliant. The family director is pending, which means it's coming up, and the community director is not compliant. If those 3 areas were filled in, you would be a star council. So that's all that's waiting. And the only other one, I've just got the star council list, 15871.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only one there, you need to have the program director to fill it out, and your council's compliant.
Yeah,
So you just need one.
yeah, I think he just did last week.
Great. So, I had to do it too. I was very embarrassed when Supreme sent a note with every state director on it, and I was one of the few that wasn't compliant. Now, I have an excuse, because I had 2 emails and they picked up the wrong email, but it's still, you know.
Yeah. So it's
anyway.
important, guys, and Noble, you can look into all your councils too and see who's, and work with them, we need to get the compliancy here. Okay, so that's the last quadrant, the last piece of this is the SP7. So you need 4 activities: family, community, life, and faith, okay, each. Or if you do the ones, like I said, I was doing earlier, that count as 2 points, and there's others that are 2 points as well. Like wheelchair, if you get 10 wheelchairs, that's 2 points. 1 wheelchair is 1 point. If you get 10 wheelchairs, it counts for 2. It's a feature program. Codes for kids, I forget, it's 10 boxes and it's 2 points as well, or something like that. So go through it, get that done. And as the state deputy mentioned earlier, and I didn't hear anybody at all correct him, but he's right. He said the SB7 is due April 30th. What does the form say? June 30th. Forget that form date. Let's get this done now by April 30th. You can do it by April 30th or earlier. By March 1st, you can already submit an SB7. So wouldn't that be nice if all 4 councils submitted an SB7 March 2nd? Get it done. If you've got all your activities, some you're gonna do in May and June, or April, May, June, that's fine. Put them on the SB7 and submit it. You're gonna make a nice little email back from Supreme saying, congratulations, you qualified for the Columbia Award. And then you know you're set. Okay? Get it done. Don't wait till June 30th. Believe me, I was working with your state deputy and a couple other state deputies last June 30th, trying to get some councils to be star council because they submitted their SP7 on June 30th at 10 o'clock at night. Don't do that. April 30th at the latest. Get it in or earlier. You got right after March 1st you can do it, right? Get her done. Get her
So,
done.
just an example, one council that is now a star council sent it in the last week in June. And he didn't get star council. Says, how come? Well, took a little bit of digging, but he sent it to kfc.ab, not kfc.org. That was all it was. Now, because he legitimately sent it in, then Jack Lipowitz said, okay, he can be a star council. If he'd done that in April, we would have had all that
Yeah,
completed.
exactly. Let's sort it out. Get it done early. Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the last minute. You know, it's one of those things, when you have something on your mind, does it keep you up at night? You know, you're thinking about, we got a big membership drive tonight. I was up most of the night, I gotta be honest, thinking about this membership drive tonight and tomorrow. Because it's gonna be huge. But I was concerned about it. I was trying to strategize in my waking moments, how we're gonna go through this. It's nice, but tomorrow I can go, check, that's done, off my mind, don't have to worry about it anymore. It's like anything else, any form or anything like that, if you got it on your mind, get it off your mind. Release that stress, just get it done. Okay, so I actually have this chart right here, don't, just forget, don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, so, I'm almost done here. Past, present, and future. We did a great job, pretty good, I'll say good. All you guys got your intake all done. Numbers are very good. Membership exemplifications, core, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Good work with the agency. Present, what we need to do is set goals. What do we need to be star council? What are we missing? We talked about safe environment. We talked about FBEs. What's left? We gotta get our 1728 in, we gotta get our, make sure our 185 and 365s are in. Look at that criteria I had on there. Put a plan together, set a goal, okay, by middle of February, we're all gonna be safe environment compliant. And that's certainly doable. Get her done. By the middle of February or end of February, we have our FBEs all done. Check! It's done. Off our mind, we've got our FBEs done, our safe environments done. Set some goals. If things just don't happen, you gotta make them happen. Right? You gotta take that initiative, especially you guys, all leaders here, take that initiative to get those done. Decide what needs to be done and get it done. Okay, attitude. This is important, guys. Stay positive. If you go back, if Noble was negative about state or Supreme and saying, oh, I can't believe Supreme, they want us to do this in a safe environment, and he's complaining about Supreme or complaining about the state, whatever the case, to his councils, how much support would he get? If he's the one that's being negative about it, he's got to stay positive. State deputy's got to stay positive. You guys, as leaders of your council, you stay positive. If you go back negative, say about this meeting, and say, well, Dale didn't have a clue what he was talking about, he went on and on about this and that, or whatever the case, or safe environment talking about it, are you going to get buy-in from your family director to go get compliant? If you guys are negative about it, no. Stay positive. Find reasons for things to succeed. Don't look for reasons to make it fail. Keep it positive. Go in with a smiling face when you're at your next meeting and be good. Future, promote the core. So everybody's doing core?
Yeah.
Yes.
1186 is, you guys doing core? No!
No.
No! Core? Yes. Oh, we're batting 50%.
I'm getting negative now.
You're getting negative.
Where's the strap?
So, every Grand Knight should have received an email a couple of days ago that said your state core evangelization and faith director, Deacon Baum, is excited to hold online core sessions. He did this when core first started 3 years ago, but he and I talked and we said it's probably timely to reiterate this. There will be 4 online sessions starting on February 17th and every 2 weeks after that on a Thursday night. They take about an hour. And the link was attached to the mail that you got. Now, if you don't have it, you can get it from your district head. Okay? So I'd encourage you to do that. We have 24 councils right now that are actively working on it. They're actively using core. We'd like to have half the membership. So we have 134 councils. We'd like 64 by the end of the year. The ones that are using it, boy, we'll have to bring some of them to your, if you're struggling with core, let me know, and I will invite one of the councils that is very successful with it to talk to your council. It works. It is fraternalism at its grandest. And it's not just for brother knights, it's for your families, your wives, okay? And it really, I mean, I'm part of it with our parish. And it started that our parish had this man is you or that man is you, which is a session that, or a program that goes for 12 weeks and then it stops and then it starts again. And our Grand Knight was leading that. And he and I had a long discussion on how core was not gonna work because of this and that. Talked to Deacon Baum, we actually had a web call, the 3 of us. And we're now incorporating core into That Man Is You and That Man Is You in core. We've got 4 new members from the That Man Is You. So it's not, if you have a program that's already there, core isn't meant to disrupt that. It's meant to work with it. Anyway, I won't spend too much time.
No, it's faith formation and fraternity. And you know what, I did a BC meeting like this a couple weeks ago, a district meeting, and the one guy comes and says, well, I don't know much about the Bible. You can't find anybody to lead it. because nobody knows enough about, the Bible. I said, you don't have to be a biblical scholar to run this thing, okay? You keep it simple. It could be Into the Breach. You've all heard Into the Breach. So it's 15, 20-minute video on Into the Breach. That's your formation part. Then the prayer. Do a rosary. Or first of all, talk about it a little bit. There's some questions if you do the Into the Breach. There's some questions, some comments that you can talk about that video. Do a rosary. Or Lamina. And then have coffee and donuts. Bang! You've done your core. You don't have to be scholars too. I think that's a lot of people are afraid that they have to know so much about the Bible when you don't know. All it is it's inspired conversation. That's all it really is.
Between half an hour and an hour.
Yeah.
And once they get involved in it, they generally go a little
Yeah. All the ones I'm aware of too. The guys can't wait to go back for the following week because it's so good. Okay, past furniture. Okay, with agency, it should be great, not good. Brother Gordon did a good talk here. We need to integrate our agency more. Like I said, we're two heads coming into one body with the Knights of Columbus, okay? So it should be great, not good. There should be an insurance proponent in every council to deliver. So Gordon and his peers can't come to your council meeting, and they're busy. There are lots of councils. We need a representative from your council to talk about the insurance. Maybe read his report. He sends out a report every month or so? No? Well, I know Neil does, I think, or something like that. So if you have a report from either your field agent or from the general agent, read it out. Like somebody in your council, read out if the field agent is not there. There needs to be a component of the agency in all your meetings, guys. We're left out. We have to get it sink in that they're part of Knights of Columbus. We gotta work together. to be
We have
successful.
intentionally changed the name from Fraternal Benefit Advisors, from insurance agents to field agents. And I do not like any meeting to start with, we're gonna talk about insurance. We're gonna talk about how the field agencies and fraternal can work together. So I try to get away from that.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's a good point, but there needs to be an agency part of that in every meeting, okay? And if the field agent is there, he needs, first of all, be at the head table, and secondly, he needs to say something. Okay, he can't just be a pretty face there and disappear. He's gotta be at the head table, needs to say something, needs time to speak. Okay, almost done. So this is fraternal advisory. I was at a meeting last night. Nobody in that meeting is getting this, or knew what I was talking about. Not last night, 2 nights ago. I hope you're all getting this, especially the leaders here in this room. This is so important. This is what tells you what's going on within our order. If you're not on it, subscribe to it. And if you don't know how to subscribe to it, let your state deputy know, let me know, whatever will help you subscribe to that.
Comes out the first and third week.
This is so important. It has things to do for the Grand Knight, things to do for the district deputy, things to do for the financial secretary, what's coming up this month. All the new things that come up. How many heard that we have a new website? One there. Not half of you maybe heard we have a new website. Well, you need to go out there. In fact, I'll flash it up here if you want. It is good, really good. I'm happy. I still got trouble navigating because I'm so used to the old one, but anyways, so it comes out. It's in English, French, Spanish. Get it, that's all I can say. Okay? In the old website, I guess I need to update my, since Tuesday we had a new website, so I'm still flashing the old one here. But in the same situation with the new website, it comes through a little bit different, but the for members one was so good. You can click on there, and the new one is too. You click on there, and then there's training. There's forms, and if you click on forms, it'll say council forms, okay? Which your 185, 365, 1728s are all on there. Council development, so all the forms for creating new development, a new council rather, or reactivations. There's district forms, they're all there. State forms, whatever. And training, bam, lays out financial secretary training. Everything is there, guys. We just have to use it. Yeah. That's what I got. What are we gonna do? Let's get her done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So look at your Star Council stuff, we all want you to be successful, nobody more than your state deputy to be successful. Look at what you're missing with criteria to be Star Council. Work with it. It's safe environments, fraternal benefit, it's membership forms. Let's get it done. Let's just all get it done. Let's all be successful. All right? Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Dale, about the Presidium?
Yeah.
And, you know, so I've done the whole slate of them.
Yeah.
I think it came from our diocese. And you're saying that if I'm required to have it for another organization, I have to do them again.
Yes.
Yet all the records of my completions are in the Presidium, you know, whatever database, right? So,
But they're different courses.
but I've done all of them, every single one of them.
No, but the ones that the diocese is asking for and the
Yeah.
ones that we're doing them, then those are not the same.
They're not the same.
They're not the same. Okay?
Well, no, actually, I'm a life director, so I
Yeah.
might not need to do it, maybe I didn't get anything.
No, you wouldn't have got it as life director, no.
Yeah.
No, you'll,
Okay, well, if they're different, that's fine.
those are definitely different, yeah.
But they're also, I mean, say you're helping out at two different parishes and you still need them, is there a conflict there? If it's the same course, it'll still
To the
count.
parish, you talking diocese now?
Well, yeah.
That I can't answer.
Actually, I'm asking Bishop, she sings, she's a member of Ascension and volunteers there, but she also sings at choir at another church. So she's been asked to, you know, do that,
Yeah.
and she's not sure if she has to duplicate.
You'd have to talk with the bishop first, I don't know.
Well, it'd be,
But the nice promise is definitely
we have
separate.
our own special
Yeah.
courses.
And Presidium runs both of them.
Yeah.
Nice promise is the diocese, they're both.
Can one put oneself into it anyway? Like the nursing one.
No, as I mentioned, in February, it's going to right now, it's on the direct side. Next month, go to, you can go to.
Thank you, Brother Dale, for your wonderful presentation and
Welcome, thank you, my
taking
pleasure.
our district meeting to the next level. And before we go to the closing prayer, I'd like to present 2 awards that one of our councils got last year. That is Council 1186, and this is for membership and for Columbian Award for programs last year. I invite him and all the council members, executive president here, leaders, come and
Very good.
Sure. No, I don't.
Congratulations, well done.
Well, thank you.
I request
Thank
Brother
you.
Dale also to join me in awarding.
Sure.
I don't have my phone, I'm sorry, I can't.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a picture.
Oh.
There we go.
Brother John.
Yes,
You gotta
come
come in.
on up here, brother
I don't wanna
John.
break the camera.
Hey, you're part of that.
unbreakable. Where are you gonna put me in the back row?
No, right, it's right between us.
Yeah.
Then
You
you're,
can flank the red.
flank the
shirts.
red shirts.
Camouflage.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For Columbian Award, Columbian Award for programs.
They're not done yet,
So they were just short of one, that's why they missed the Star Council.
Oh, good.
I hope this year.
Again?
Again, one more.
It's a different one. I took my coat off, but anyways.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
So, just, before,
Yeah.
and then I won't say anything else. So, I get a Star Council update every week. So, our regional growth director was gonna send it to me next Wednesday. So I have written down that your council's gonna have one membership, one FBE completed, because you will have filled out the 11077. And who else was I mentioning here? We just needed it done, one more.
Yeah,
Okay? As far as the safety.
yeah.
Okay. And the other one is, for FPE here is, year 1587?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have one FPE done too. That's great, I'm looking forward to that. And I know.
I am too.
Brother Dale is gonna be looking when he fills out the form, so thank you. Thank you, brother.
Just before you continue on, sorry, we talked earlier about showing that 5-minute video for this, to make this an FTE.
We could do that at one time.
Yeah, I'm saying, once you're all done, I'll put the video on, we can watch that then, it's 5 minutes.
After closing or before?
After closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, okay. So this is for your information, because last year at the state convention, the state deputy gave awards for the councils in all these criteria, right? Best fraternal council, council of the year, GK of the year, knight of the year, family of the year, and for the best council bulletin, best council website, and also for programs, for faith programs, community programs, life programs, family activities. This is in addition to the Supreme Awards, right? So the State Council is giving this award. And for this, I invite you to, send a report. So that report is mandatory by February 15th. And please include all your council programs of this fraternal year, and then I'll forward to the State Council, and then they can assess it. And then, you'll be qualified in case if all the requirements are met. So that's one of the to-do list. And then another one is the 1728, which is due this end of this month. And also please apply for SP7 Olympian Award. If you don't apply, you won't be qualified to get it, and also you won't be getting the Star Council if you don't apply for it. Whether you get it or not, if you don't apply, Star Council award will not be coming to you. So even if all other achievements are there, you have to apply for, that's one of the requirements among all others. So I just remind you to do that without fail. So I send a number of texts to all candidates every other week or every week, or I get in touch with them. So that's because I want your council to excel. So I hope we can have at least 2 star councils from this state. So in fact, all 4 councils can get it. But already 2 have achieved 75% of their requirements. So I wish at least those 2 can qualify. And then, so today, can I give the vote of thanks right now and then close?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I would like to, express gratitude from the bottom of my heart to the state deputy. So it was like a surprise when I knew that he was coming, because earlier, based on his schedule, he was not able to, right? So he just came last night from Edmonton and then woke up in the morning and then came, made it possible, and plus our occasion. So thank you so much for your grateful response. And next I would like to congratulate and appreciate and thank Brother Dale for coming over and making this meeting, taking it to the next level. Thank you so much, and it was very valuable and very informative presentation. Thank you so much. Very happy. And next I would thank Brother Gordon Lund, who he gave a very good fraternal presentation. Thank you so much. I know his how his schedule looks like and his personal, how the situation, but in spite of that, he made it and came here. Thank you so much. And then from all other councils, the executives who made it today, thank you so much, and we appreciate your presence, and this shows how you are committed to our fraternal mission. Thank you so much. And then we will go to the opening prayer. Closing prayer.
So after the closing prayer, we're gonna show that short video, 5 minutes. We maybe grab our food first, and then we'll do the video. And then that will, with Brother Gord's permission, I think that will count as an FBE.
Absolutely.
Okay? Thank you. So.
Heavenly Father, as we conclude our pedagogic meeting, we thank you for the gift of brotherhood and for the time spent in your service. Strengthen us now as we lead. Help us to live our lives as an expression of our love for you and for our fellow man. And give us courage to act with charity and perseverance. May our work be an instrument of your love. Through the intercession of our Lady, the betterness of the message of us, and our founder, blessed Father, guide us to build the church of our service. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Good job. Awesome.
Brother Dale, would you like to say grace before?
Okay, now we can do that. We'll say grace in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thanks, Brother Noble.
Welcome.
Terrific turnout.
This is the and walk seat. So,
So, you talked to That's right, you have Frank's just taking notes. You guys know? Yeah, is it Frank?
Who's our field agent name again?
Is it Gene? Oh, you got Eugene. Oh, okay.
You will want to throw your metformin away after testing this natural truth. This is the strangest way I've ever seen.
Yeah, I asked.
Let's take it.
Yes, and
You can talk to him about whatever you want.
Other investments and long-term care insurance. All that good stuff. You were talking to him about that too. Or if you was on the
I fully think the church or the nights are considered having one. I think it doesn't take much time.
Difficult insurance to qualify
Here's our driver.
I wonder if you guys know the can't even find out, you know?
That was really the reason we got all those.
They all have regular files. I can't have.
So we
Pass
have
grade two.
I think this
It's a big zero.
That's okay.
Thank you.
We've done Dundras.
It's a very nice.
Okay, well, you know what I'll do? I'll have
And it just-
John gives me more CHWE.
Yeah, I know. That's okay, that's why. That's the nice of a.
No, that's all right. You can have that all.
Yeah, we tend to raise
Yeah.
It's not just on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little meal there.
That's the title. I gotta go. I gotta meet with the bishop.
Oh, it won't be 5 minutes.
I know, but I gotta get
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. See you later.
Good day, brother.
I just want to say hi, probably.
Good
to see you. How's it been?
Let me know.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're on it now. And there's no dollar value to it?
That's the one.
Oh, what type of insurance is there? Oh. Yeah, and that's expensive. How much are you Oh, what they quote in
Okay, okay, brothers, if you got your food, let's have a seat. Let's look at the video, watch the video.
Yeah.
We start there, no? Yeah, start, yeah, let's close the door.
Okay, we're gonna have a.
Hey, brothers, have a seat. As our state deputy says, this one tugs on your heartstrings a little bit here too, this video. And this should be a message, if you don't have insurance, Knights Club's insurance, to go out and get it. So, let's wait a sec here. All right.
It was roughly mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock-ish. We're sitting here and all of a sudden the call comes in for possible cardiac arrest at such and such address. I'm trying to think, who would that be at that age? Approximately 40-year-old male on that particular street. So I responded being a paramedic. I pulled up and they come running out to me and said, "It's Brad. Brad had a heart attack." Next thing I knew, I was in the hospital.
best friend.
We were all numb, 39 years old, and he's gone, and he was such a huge part of all of our lives. Father, husband, man of God, Marine, firefighter, pal, Brad.
Brad was just always there.
Somebody you could really rely on and count on.
Brad loved the Knights of Columbus. Those were his brothers. He spent a lot of time with that Knights of Columbus Council.
I finally got a hold of him and asked him one afternoon if we could meet to review his coverage, just like I do with most of my clients. We discuss what his goals and dreams are for his family and make sure that his coverages are to where in the tragic event that something were to happen to Brad, that his family would be taken care of. Brad and I developed a plan that was within his budget, and we implemented that plan. And then Brad passed away about a year and a half later. I called Dina later that evening just to explain to her that, you know, this is Michael Bryant with Knights of Columbus, because I had never met Dina.
And he said, oh, Brad had, gotten some more insurance. And I said, okay.
And whenever I told her how much insurance that he had,
I was shocked because I thought, my goodness, why?
She was completely shocked.
One of the most reassuring things that happened after Brad passed away was the fact that we knew his family was taken care of.
Because Brad chose to get more life insurance with the Knights of Columbus, Riley and I are able to live comfortably in our home and not have to worry about paying the bills.
It just shows how much he really cared for us.
I think the biggest thing that I've taken away is the fact that the Knights take care of widows and orphans.
They decided to detour their planned route and come into Windthorst after Father John got word that Brad had passed.
The day after his funeral is when the relic came through, and it was really just an amazing thing.
Having the relic there and being such a strong part of the Knights of Columbus and having Father McGivney there in hand and present at the site was such a tremendous relief for all of us. It was huge.
That's what a Knights of Columbus agent does. That's what the Knights of Columbus is all about. We're there to assist that person that's left behind to make sure that they're cared for the rest of their life.
Okay, brothers, so Grand Knights in the room here, send out that 11077 with the members that were here with their names on it. And you're credited with participation, it's not a full FBE, but a participation one, and you can build from there. So, okay?
Yeah, I've never been here before, so I took it out into the first parking lot. And then I entered the school and did the basement too. And then I kept walking this way. So I think my park way over there. I'm hopeless without the basement, without, good roads. Well, I'm glad to see you're feeling better. It's a weird time to be sick. No, it's the winter time, it really gets you down. Especially when you leave the house.
I grew up in the forest.
Get some deep there in my winter at all. Unless
No,
you're
I
sick.
didn't, I ate breakfast before coming. I'm good, thanks.
Well, that was a very good meeting. I enjoyed it. Give me a different view.
Okay, so, oh, if you want to. Okay. Where you guys looking? Yeah, I'm going in,
Oh, the test.
slid that in there.
And what's the difference between the death certificate and the chapter? It must be a professional meeting.
By choice.
Okay. That's a meeting.
Take care. Really good to see you.
Thanks for all the goodies you shared today.
Oh, you're welcome. Hope you got something out of this. That's good, thank you.
I hope I can take them.
Screenshots of your statement presentation.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the real estate deputy a PDF of it and you can share it with everybody. Yeah.
Safe to see you.
So I'm gonna head back, get some stuff done here yet this afternoon. And then,
I'll give you the brochures.
oh yeah, right, yeah.
I'll head home and, since the CEO's not talking my
And what time is the mass tonight?
so I said I had to meet Mike there on 4:15. If you get to St. Albert, same time, 4:15.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll be there.
It'll be great.
I also, yeah. Oh, I'm sure it will be. I just, you know, one of the emails that Rob sent out is, oh, somebody's camera?
No, we're okay.
Oh, yeah. One of the emails Rob sent out, something else is doing the pulpit announcement, Oscar or something like that. You know, I'm gonna talk to Rob and say, yeah, I know I can't, but Rob can do it, and he's a good talker, should you know?
Yeah.
So, unless his Oscar's really good. And I hope he's give him a copy of what I sent him, not that he's on his own somewhere.
Could you send me the new one? I've got the original.
Okay, the new one I just gave for, yeah, I can email it to you.
Yeah, because I still have the one with the free membership.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, 17341.
Okay.
Concern there?
Let me close this.
Yeah, we did that. Just,
Did you close it?